Then we've got Get Happy by Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This is a really kind of fun R&B 60s kind of sound to it. Then we've got Trust, one of my favourites that doesn't get much love, but it's great album. New lace sleeves off this is probably my favourite Elvis Costello track. It's definitely worth checking out. Another one that doesn't get much love. It was the first one I got. I got this from an ex of mine, and it's Punch the Clock. Very 80s sound, and it's got Let Them All Talk, Every Day I Write the Book, etc. It's also got ones like Charm School, very funky track, and Shipbuilding, which is a beautiful, beautiful song. The Cure's first album. Great one, that definitely worth checking out. Debussy, it's Nocturnes, need to listen to that. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, no it's not. I was reading the back. It's Eddie Condon, which is an unfortunate name, but this is great. This is a Dixieland one. If you like, it just reminds me of Woody Allen films. This one, definitely put that on for a bit of fun, sort of New Orleans jazz sound. Talking of which, a bit more jazz there. Django Reinhardt, that I was introduced to by Sweet and Lowdown, which is one of Woody Allen's really fun films. Check that out. Great jazz guitarist. Dvorak, New World Symphony, gorgeous. And the cello concerto as well. I do like a bit of classical, but I never know what the names of the stuff is. Now that's quite a cliche to say, but I hear something, I go, oh, I love this one. Another side of Bob Dylan. And my favourite Bob Dylan so far that I've checked out is Bringing It All Back Home. I'm usually not a huge fan of Dylan, more of a fan of the people he's influenced. I have a great respect for him, but I prefer like your Paul Simons, Loudon Wainwright, people like that. But I'm starting to get more into Bob. Very, very late to the party, but I'm enjoying it. This particularly I really like this album. Yeah, great album. Okay, this is probably my weirdest album I've got. It's electronic music and it's a bit of a sampler. It reminds me of, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and it reminds me a bit of some of the stuff that Delia Derbyshire and the Radiophonic Workshop did. So it's a bit of a weird one, a bit of a kind of, let's see what this new fangled electronic music can do. Back in the 60s, 1966. So ahead of its time, that one. This one doesn't have a sleeve. What We Did on Our Holidays by Fairport Convention. I've yet to listen to this one. I apologise, any Fairport fans. Chris Farlow and the Thunderbirds, Stormy Monday. Great sort of British blues one again. Roberta Flack. I love how this album sort of opens up like that, the grand piano. I'm easily impressed, but yeah, great fun sort of late night album. It's got things like Killing Me Softly with this song on it, of course, and yeah, nice album, that one. Nice chilled album. Fleetwood Mac, sort of best of, but it's best of the Peter Green years. Absolutely love this. And as much as my record collection doesn't show it, I'm not as big a fan of the British blues invasion. I prefer the real deal, really, the original blues. But I think Peter Green's the only one who kind of, Peter Green and Hendrix, I think, are the only ones with that invasion that really maintain the feel and the originality of the, you know, in their own way. Not as much of a fan of Clapton and stuff like that. Apologies, don't kill me. So yeah, great best of those times. And of course, every record collection has it. Rumours, brilliant from beginning to end. Couldn't be more different from that one, and that's kind of cool anyway. Love this album, brilliant. This is another sort of remastered new one I got from Sainsbury's, which always makes me feel a bit bad, you know, it's not the original. But yeah, it's Rumours. Everything's great about it. Peter Gabriel, and can't remember if this is his first one or not. Some people call it Melt, I think, don't they? It's just called Peter Gabriel on the side. Great sort of experimental album, that one. Jem's Gang Rides Again, another one from my father-in-law, and really good rocking sort of East Coast sound, that one. Was it West Coast? West Coast. The Best of Tony Hancock. Love this, love a bit of Hancock, love a bit of that type of humour, and this is really good fun to listen to. Handle with Care. This is a bit of a rock sort of compilation, but definitely worth keeping because it's got some corkers on there. George Harrison, The Material World. Love George Harrison. I'd love to get more of his vinyl when I can see some for cheap enough. But yeah, this is a great album. Be Here Now is one of my all-time favourite George Harrison songs, which is on this one. Haydn Overture, a little bit of classical there. High Society, another film soundtrack. Just class, just pure class really, this one. It's got Louis Armstrong, Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, Frank Sinatra. Yeah, great bit of smooth stuff. Now we're into Buddy Holly. I love Buddy Holly, big fan. So we've got a few greatest hits here. We've got Greatest Hits Volume 2. I don't know what happened to number 1. Legendary Buddy Holly. That'll Be the Day, Buddy Holly. Great. Love Buddy Holly. The Planets, one of my favourites. Classicals by Holst. If you're into Star Wars like me, or any of the John Williams soundtracks, borrows quite heavily from Holst. It has a very similar kind of sound, so it's very filmic, very big. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Some blues, Big City Blues, Howlin' Wolf. Love this one. It's not aged well, unfortunately. The record doesn't play too well on this one, but still, if you can find this online or whatever, it's great compilation of Howlin' Wolf. I personally love this album. It was introduced to me, like many great things, by The Simpsons. It was from an episode of The Simpsons they played at 17, and this is just, yeah, female singer-songwriter. Don't get much better than this debut. I don't know how young she was on this. She's pretty young, but every song on it, it's just gorgeous. So that's Between the Lines. I've got a Jam Malice, Town Called Malice, sorry, 12-inch. The Jungle Book soundtrack, a lot of fun. Another one from my childhood, Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Really good fun, that one. Paul McCartney, Ram. Love this album. Brilliant. I think my favourite is Too Many People on it. And inside, what's quite sweet about some records, it's got To Ken, Lots of Love from Your Girlfriend Pip, 1972. I love stuff like that. So there we go. McCartney 2. Not as good, this one. It's okay. Don't mind it. One of my mates' bands. I'd love to get my own music onto vinyl, but it's so damn expensive, but I'm always impressed by the people who can do it. So one of my favourite bands, check them out. The Madding Crowd from Manchester. Wow. Definitely worth checking out. Best of the Mamas and the Poppers. A Man and a Woman. I've still never actually seen this, heard this one. It's one of my parents, but I wanted to keep it to remember them really, and hopefully listen to that soon. Another new acquisition, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Uprising, fantastic bit of reggae, and Bob Marley live as well in London. Love this one. Another live one of my favourite bands, the Modern Lovers. Really good fun. If you ever want cheering up, this is the album for you. Modern Lovers live. A fairly new one that I've got into, the Moody Blues. Another one sort of introduced to me by my father-in-law. We got In Search of the Lost Chord and On the Threshold of a Dream. Both really good sort of psychedelic albums.